Scott Williford, CEO and founder of vLink Solutions. We're continuing our conversation today with Jennifer Dunphy of Vayu Media.
Glad to be here.
So, Jennifer, when we broke away on the last episode, we were just getting into the whole, or finishing up the conversation about content being king and content being so important. And I was just thinking about how you advise your clients to maintain the quality of their content. So how do you recommend, or how do you help your clients, increase the quality, not just quantity of their content?
Absolutely. Content is extremely important when it comes to a cohesive online marketing strategy. This year alone, marketers are spending about $12.5 billion creating online content alone. So with all the content being created out there, it's essential to make sure that it offers value to consumers, and not just creating content for the sake of creating it. It's really about the context. So let's face it, we know content is king, but marketing and syndication of that content is the queen. And as we all know, the queen really runs the house. So it's not just about creating that content, but it's about creating various types of content, making it valuable, informative content that people would want to read, and then properly syndicating it throughout all the online channels that we have available to us.
I heard somewhere that video or blogging or any of this stuff, that 9 out of 10 of your posts need to be bringing value to the audience, not selling.
Absolutely.
Is that true? I mean, why is that so important?
If you want to better engage your community, you don't want to sell to them all the time. They don't want to feel like you're saying, hey, look at me, look at how great we are, but they want you to add value and give them pieces of information that could benefit them, whether it's in their personal life or their professional life. You want to show them, here are 10 ways that you can better market your business through video. And these are things that they don't know, and it's something that you're able to offer them in an effective, cost-effective manner.
Right. So, let's say you got a small business, and I know you guys work primarily with, medium-sized to larger-sized companies, but a small business who's just getting started. Because, there's a lot of people out there who hear all this buzz and they want to get in the game so that they can become a client of yours one day. Absolutely. Where do they start? What's the first task that you think they need to be doing?
I think one of the most important things that any business could do, number one, is know who their target market is. Because a lot of smaller businesses get started and they're so excited and they'll take any business that comes their way, but what they really need to define: who is my target market? Why is this person my ideal client? And what is the best way I can get in front of them? They need to define their strategy first. And then from that, we can figure out all the online avenues that are most appropriate for them. Because what's appropriate for a startup business isn't necessarily the same thing as to what's appropriate for a business that's already a few $1 million in revenue. They have different goals, different objectives, different target market, and the way they need to communicate with that target market is going to differ as well.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you wouldn't want to try to immediately go and compete against the bigger guys anyway. If you're in a competitive landscape, you want to kind of grow your groundswell of following and grow that. So, channels, you've mentioned a lot of different outlets and syndications. So how does someone get started in that? I mean, give some secret sauce. What's the secret formula to being able to do that?
I think one of the easiest ways for people to get started with getting their name out there, if this is something they're trying to do internally and do on their own, is social media. They can create their presence, but before they get started, they really need to define a strategy again. All too often, people, they just do it to keep up with the Joneses. They don't have a rhyme or reason behind what they're doing. They just do it because everyone tells them they should. They need to put in place a strategy, get a good video going, say, here's who we am, here's what we're about, here's how we can help you, to get that out there, and then start marketing to their target market through all the social avenues. So, their Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, the new Google+. There are a lot of ways for people to get the word out there.
Well, I think that from hearing what you're saying and what I've read about all of this, that once you understand your market, it's like what helps them. And then focus your content around what helps them.
Absolutely.
So that they trust you. And then they'll buy from you.
Yep.
Right? So, all right, we have been having a great conversation with Jennifer Dunphy of Vayu Media. And we're going to pick it back up with the CEO of Vayu Media in just a few minutes. So, Jennifer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And we look forward to having you back again and maybe switching seats one time.
All right.
And
yeah, I'd love to put you in the hot seat.
Yeah, ask me a bunch of questions. So thank you for tuning in, and join us for our next episode as we continue our conversation about social media, Vayu Media, and video blogging, and all the related stuff but this time we're going to put a twist. We're going to bring the CEO of the company on. So thank you for tuning in.